Hey guys, this is Gavin. Welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're going to be continuing um Car Mechanic Simulator 2018, or as it's called on Xbox, just Car Mechanic Simulator. So you may be wondering, you're posting this like a day after last video. We probably um we haven't given you really any feedback yet, and you're right. Reason I'm doing this is because I didn't want to just leave y'all. If y'all want to see a series and I want y'all's feedback, y'all probably need to see enough of the game to really really know what's going on here. So I thought might as well just give y'all two videos so y'all can at least see one car being fixed. Last episode was just me introducing the game and buying the parts for the engine while taking the engine apart. Alright, so now comes putting the engine back together. And I don't know why sometimes building an engine is sometimes my favorite part of um can either sometimes be like one of my favorite parts about the game or my least favorite part of the game. And there's about two parts that can either make or break this for me. And those are valve push rods and camshaft caps. Those of you who don't know, usually there is either those are usually found valve push rods are usually found in V8s, and the thing about valve push rods, and if I'm working on a V8 and it has valve push rods, that means it has 16 push rods that needs to be put on the car, and they all have to be put on individually. It's just a long and dumb process. The same thing with camshaft caps. There's usually a lot of them, and they're annoying to deal. Just tedious to put back on. Oh yeah. I don't remember if I need to replace the fuel filter, but it's just one of those parts where it's just easy to get to no matter where you are. Something I can just easily put on later. Alright, engine head. So this is actually going to be a pretty brand new engine, now that I think about it. I don't like really repairing things, at least right now, because I know 85 is a good chance of repairing something, but still, if I try to repair something and break it, then I have to buy the part brand new, which is more expensive than and buying a brand new part is more expensive than repairing something. But if I try to repair something and then break it and have to buy a new part, then I'm spending more money than repairing it and or buying a new part. So about the most expensive thing you can do is buy a new part or try to fix a part, break it, and then have to buy a new part. It's just one of those things where there is a point where you can get up to a 99% of fixing something, which I'm definitely looking forward to. So yeah. This is definitely a game. I didn't buy a timing belt. And I was forgetting something. So is it just timing belt? Oh no, I look at it. Here it is. Yep, timing belt. That's what it is. Alright. Timing cover on there. This is definitely gonna be one of those games where I don't know if I'm gonna be able to talk about other stuff. I need to replace some idle rollers. Why did I not pick those up? Huh. I think there might be only one idle roller A, but if I need to buy more, the shortcut's still there. What I typed in is still going to be there, so it's not a big deal. Alright, put both belts on. Put the belt tensioner on. And that's everything. Let me just put on stuff back here that connects to the gearbox. And that is the engine done. Brand new looking engine, except for a couple parts that still look old. Those are parts that I couldn't repair. Any parts that weren't repaired, that couldn't be repaired, were broken and then had to be bought. Alright, install engine. Yep. Now let me sell the old parts. Let me put the brake servo in. Did I just say I need to replace an idle roller? Oh, no. Fuel, oh. You never, I don't remember being told that I needed to replace this. Alright. Let me buy another ignition coil. Okay, that I'm not going to be too mad about because I understand not wanting that. What else? Is there anything left turning to the engine? Turbo. Need to buy a new starter, a new pump, and a battery. Alright, let me take those out. I need to replace that. You've got to be kidding me. I gotta take the engine back off. Because apparently I have to replace that one piston and those piston rings that were not 100%. I get it, they were at like 40 or 30%. So let me pull out the engine. I'm gonna do this off camera because y'all probably don't want to see this. If I were you, I wouldn't want to see this either. And I'll be back when I have the engine back together. Alright, so I'm back. I took apart the engine again, replaced the broken piston, and apparently I didn't remember buying 4 rod caps. So now I have just a random, brand new rod cap. Which I guess we can just use later. Alright, so the engine's back. I've relooked at the list, and everything is, everything as part of the engine block itself is fine. I bet you, we can take this off. Actually, I don't remember seeing the radiator fan needing to be replaced. Yeah, because remember during one of the tests, it said that didn't say that, because I remember we had something that needed. What am I talking about? Oh yeah, we need a. So I went ahead and bought the parts that we need to put on that we need to replace. I bought the 3 other parts that we need to replace, which are the turbo, the starter, and the battery. Let's put the gearbox back on. Apparently, I have another gear. I have 2 of the same gearbox for this car. Alright, front drive shaft. Oh, apparently I fixed these. I would have been very upset if I managed to break those. I guess I don't think about it. I bet you just by looking at it, I need to replace these. But I'm gonna put the wheels back on and put the thing on the test path. So hopefully we can just knock out these last few parts. I feel like it'd just take me less time to just look for myself. That's whatever. I already had a dang starter for that dang car. I bet you I fixed it. What? Why do I do these things? Well, now that I don't know anymore. Just don't ask questions. Alright, so that is everything every part that we have discovered we have replaced except the fuel pump. Forgot about that. Let me get a fuel pump. Fuel pump, not fuel filter. And while I'm here, let's put oil in the car. Alright, so now the car should run. Close the engine bay, lift it back up so we can put the new fuel pump in. And I bet you actually we need to replace this fuel tank. And I was correct. Let me just make sure. Yep, fuel tank, and we just have one more part left. I didn't buy a new fuel tank. Let me do that real quick. Alright, fuel tank has been replaced, and there's just one more part on this car. And I could probably, actually, I'm not going to put this thing on the thing, because it probably just needs to, probably won't take too long to find. I saw this, when I saw this brake disc might need to be replaced. What's that? Nope. Well, I can tell the brake disc is fine, even though it looks like that. See, looks can be deceiving in this game. I just have two fresh brake calipers. Alright, not, I bet, actually, it could be the air filter. I don't think that's it, but it's possible. Slow it back down. I don't, hold on, let me, yep, air filter. Air filter is just completely black, which is not good, because in this game there's supposed to be that oil filter. Well, most of the cars use this air filter, and that type of air filter is normally yellow. This one is completely black. So 3%. There we go. Put the new air filter in, and that should be the last part. Let me just look through the list here. Let me make sure. That is the car done. Alright, so the car is completely fixed. Let me just put the clips for the air filter case back on. And the car is done. So that's our first car, boys. $15,916. We spent $5,000 fixing this car. We get a $7,000 task bonus and $2,500 job bonus. Alright. Now we have $50,000. And I guess, let me check time real quick. 14 minutes. Yes, let's get this car Actually, real quick, let me just look at what they're saying. Car is hard to control, so it's probably suspension. Knocking sound coming from the suspension. Car is loud, definitely exhaust, and transmission is not supportive, which is definitely going to be part of the gearbox. Alright, so let's put it on the lift. Alright, let's open this bad boy up. First thing I remember, so the easiest thing to do is going to be exhaust, the car being loud, and the transmission is not responsive, which is going to be something with the gearbox. Alright, and that's both of the, okay, car is loud, done. Alright, we just need to buy 2 middle mufflers. Alright. And we just need to replace the gearbox. Take the drive shaft off. Move to the gearbox. Actually, we need to take the starter out as well. Thank God. I love the V8 gearbox because you can literally just take the starter off without having to lower and raise the engine. The car, I should say. Gearbox. It was a V8 overhead, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Just needed a new gearbox. Put the starter back on. And put the drive shaft back on. Two problems done within like 1 minute. Alright, so car's loud done and transmission not responsive. Alright, so knocking sound from the suspension and the car is hard to control. I bet you all those are the same part. I can already tell that. I've learned that it's about the same exact parts every time when it comes to suspension. Alright, wow, the end link is fine. Double shock absorber probably needs to be replaced. Probably so does the disc. Nope. But I bet you the wheel hub bearing needs to. Because it usually does. Nope, it is fine. Okay, so I have not discovered a single part so far yet. So let me put those parts back on. Because putting these on isn't going to stop me from getting to anything I need to. Alright. Go back to part remove. Alright, let's go to the other side of the car. Take off this wheel. I always start with the front suspension first. That end link needs to be replaced. Good hell. Yep, 10%. Let me show you the shock as well. Double shock, wishbone shock absorber needs to be replaced. So it's front spring. So every part of the shock absorber I just took off needs to be replaced. That front sway bar end link needs to be replaced. Let me just take apart the brakes right here, just to make sure that none of this needs to be replaced. And the wheel hub bearing does. Alright, let me just buy the wheel hub bearing real quick. It takes like 2 seconds to get to. Alright, let me buy that wheel hub bearing. Alright, brake disc. Wheel hub cap. And let's put the brakes back on. Alright, so we just need to buy an end link and parts for the shock. Alright. It was a sway bar end link B, and let's go front spring, front cap, and the double wishbone shock absorber. Alright, let me put the end link in first. That's right here. But now we gotta get away from the car, go to the spring puller, and put together this, the spring. Let's sell the other one for money, because why not? Alright, let's get back right here. occurs to me I already had a fresh shock absorber. Alright, let me check the rear suspension real quick. Oh, it's one of the easy ones. I bet you it's probably one of the leaf, I bet you it's that leaf plate right there. Alright. This is probably my favorite suspension to work on because it's just easiest. There's others, but there's two main suspensions I've worked on, and it's either a leaf spring suspension or a, let me check real quick for the name, or it is either a cross member suspension. This is my favorite of the rear suspensions to work on because it's just easier. Both U-bolts need to be replaced. I bet you. We also have to go over here and take. Bet you these are the other three parts that we need to take off. I've learned that when it's this type of suspension, it's usually just that. Yep, the plates and the leaf bolts or the U-bolts. And we've got one more part to fix. Car knocking from the suspension, so it's probably nothing with brakes. Let me check this shock absorber real quick. That's not it. Alright, put it back on. It might be something up here. As far as I know, it's probably a rubber bushing. No, that's fine. Is it possibly this? Yes, it is. Alright. Let me actually put some of the stuff back. Oh, let me put that back on. Alright. And this will probably be the last thing we do in this video. Actually, after this, I'm going to show you all of my cars that I have. I have two cars that need to be worked on, that need to be restored, and we'll probably do those in one of those in the next video. Oh yeah, lost my train of thought there. Here we go. So let me actually, I know I need to clear that list and now. Alright, so the 4 U-bolts, the 2 plates, like to get all those done. I like to have all my parts together, and then the alright. Now let me sell some of these parts from the other car. Alright, let me sell these parts from this car, and let's go shopping. Alright, let's go to suspension. Oh, well, we're already at suspension. So I need U-bolts, the plates, and the outer tie rod. There we go. And bolts and plates are right here. And that's about it. Alright, let's put that wheel back on. I'm going to head over here and put this wheel back on. Head to the back and replace the plates and U-bolts. That last car was like the first time I've never had to touch the suspension on a car. There we go. Alright, and should be everything. Yep, that is the car done. Alright, we don't have to lower it down, but I'm going to. Alright, let's lower down the car. Close the hood. And then take our $4,000 from that. Oh, probably should put the front shock on the car. Do I have to be under the car for that? I do not. Alright, let's do that real quick. Alright. Did I not put the wheel back on? Oh my god, I'm awful. Thank God I don't work on cars yet. Alright. If this was real life, I would have just given someone their car without a shock absorber and a wheel. Alright, $4,000. That is that. Alright, so let me show you some of my cars I have. Let's get these out here. The game does this. It has these kind of like long-ish loading screens, which are kind of annoying. And I'm gonna just get my first two cars out here for you guys to see. Alright. So the first two cars. So this was my first ever car. Why is it over here? Alright, so this was my first ever car. Of the 3 times that I've bought my first car and tried to fix it up. This is the only time that I have not made myself go bankrupt. And this is this car. To me, I can't really distinct one inspiration. To me, it looks a lot like the Buick GSX. On this game, it's called the Chieftain TBX. I mispronounced these names. Forgive me. Yeah, this was my first car. If you may notice the new panels on the car. That is because these black panels are replacement panels because I don't have a paint shop in the garage yet, so I can't paint over the cars. So that's why. So that's the parking garage, and this is my second car, and of my cars, my favorite because it just sounds the best. It's got this. This is a V8 overhead MAG engine. Sounds well. It's my favorite sounding engine in the entire game. If you know me, I'm a sucker for V8s. This is the Salem. This is the Salem Spectre Fastback. And to me, it is very obvious what this is supposed to be, or what this is modeled after. This is an old school Ford Mustang. To me, it looks a lot like the original. It looks very similar to the original Mustang, actually. It's definitely one of the later models, but it's definitely an early one of the old school Mustangs. Let me actually hop in real quick to kind of show you how it sounds a little bit. Didn't think about that. All you can really hear is just the mumble of it. Send that to parking. I'm gonna get out my next two cars. If you'll excuse me. I'm just gonna pause during these loading screens. Alright, so my third car is over here, not over here. So my third car that I ever bought was this thing, the Lotus Elise S1. It is the only of all the DLC cars I own in this, that I have bought. This is the only one that I own in my career mode, and yeah, it's a cool car. Still some painting that needs to be done, and need to weld the body because there's still some rust on the body, as you can tell. And the only way to do that is have a welding kit, which I don't have yet. So yeah, this is my Lotus Elise. And next car is my Willys Jeep Civilian Edition. This is the civilian version of the Willys Jeep. Of all the cars I have, this is the most recent I've worked on. And I actually, for whatever reason, just had a performance version of the carburetor this uses. So yeah, So the engine looks normal, and then there's just like shiny performance part. So yeah, all those are my next 2 cars. All right, so we're gonna move on to my final 2 cars, and one of them we will be working on in the next episode. Hopefully that was better. I just paused it during the me putting my cars back and getting these next 2 cars, so takes less time. So actually, let me check something. I might be able to buy a new upgrade. No, not yet. Probably next episode. All right. So my next car. These are my final 2 cars that I have currently. My next car is this, the Willys Jeep Military Edition. I got this car from the junkyard. Actually, both of these cars I got from the junkyard. This thing cost me about $8,000. Like my first 2 cars, like on average, they cost me like $20,000. This thing cost me $8,000 from the junkyard. And if y'all have a decision on if y'all have a preference on which one of these cars I restore first, because we will definitely be doing it in the next episode. I wanted to keep recording this, but I'd rather get y'all's take on this. And actually, after this, I'm probably gonna record a 007. So yeah, this is the Willys Jeeps Military Edition. You saw I had a civilian edition. This is my military edition. Moving on to my last car. This is the Smith 1500. You can't tell. I'm pretty sure this isn't based off of the old Ford trucks. It might be based off of Chevy, but I'm pretty sure this is based off the old Ford trucks. This thing is very broken down. Once again, like I said, I got these both from a junkyard. The car value right now is $6,800. And I'm definitely looking forward to working on this one. Both of these, maybe looking a little less forward to building this one. That's just because recently I've restored the civilian version of this car. So if y'all it's up to you. Whatever one you want me to work on, I will. So if y'all have a preference on which one of these cars, tell me in the comments below, and I will build it and restore it in the next video. Maybe the next 2 videos. It's probably going to take like 2 videos for each car. So yeah. Me personally, I'd rather build this one first, but that's only because I've recently just fixed up the civilian version of the Willys Jeep. So yeah, if y'all have preference on which one, let me know. And this video is, oh my god, it's like 30 minutes long. Alright guys, so I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.